The standoff between Walmart and Washington, D.C. is getting uglier. The district recently passing a higher minimum wage only for the big box stores has Walmart looking to hightail it out of there. And now there's actually a push to expand this rule to other cities. Jedediah Vila says D.C. is discriminating against Walmart because it's non-union. She's joined by Julie Rajinski and Lenwood Brooks. They're non-union, that's why?
Well, why are they going after them and not some other places? You know, I noticed that some of the
why didn't they go after the grocery stores? Why didn't they go after...
why them? I wonder why they got picked. And this is going to hurt, you know, this is going to hurt low-income folks. This is going to hurt the very people that they claim to always want to protect, these big union guys. Now Walmart's not going to go into neighborhoods that are very much in need of an economic boom. The economy of those regions is going to suffer. Walmart's already come out and said, hey, you know what? These 6 stores that we were going to open in these poor neighborhoods, well, 3 of them, we're not even going to do those now. So who's going to suffer here at the end of the day?
Julie, I looked at, as soon as the ruling came out, I looked at the 8th Ward. Marion Barry, one of the guys who passed it, 38% poverty, the highest in 30 years. D.C.'s a boom town, but his neighborhood is being left out of it. How can he look his constituents in the face and say, listen, you know, you guys average $9,000 if you have a job. This would have paid you $17,000, but I didn't like it.
You think that's why Marion Barry can't look his constituents in the face? I can think of a couple of other reasons why Marion Barry may be a little embarrassed about looking his constituents in the face. Just, you know, have a pretty good memory about that. You know, Jedediah's point, it's not just Walmart. I think it's Macy's and other stores with profits over a certain amount. I don't know if Macy's is unionized or not, but I will say this. The D.C. thing doesn't make sense to me because of where geographically D.C. is located. You can always go, if you want to go to Walmart in Virginia or Maryland, get on the metro, get in your car and go down there. So, you know, if this were a state like California, it might make more sense.
But what about the idea, though, that this is sort of the test bed and that, you know, the same sort of, you know, you'll see it in other places. But you'll see it in California.
They tried this in Chicago, if you remember. They did try this in Chicago, and Mayor Daley, who's Democrat, by the way, vetoed this. So D.C.'s not the first place they're trying it. Look, Walmart has a pretty bad record of treating its employees, and not just because of union issues, but because, you know, they move people to part-time, not to pay for health care. I mean, it's not a great place to work as an employee. Having said that, they are bringing, I don't know how many jobs to D.C. I wouldn't have done it if I were Washington.
2,000 jobs, I think. And, you know, no matter how bad they might be, Lenwood, they still are the largest employer in America, and I'm sure there's a whole lot of people out there, A, who are grateful for their job, and B, wish they can get one of them.
Charles, that's exactly right. I mean, D.C.'s unemployment rate is well above the national average. And these stores are not only providing jobs, but they're also putting them in very poor areas. Some areas where the only option to eat is places like Walmart, McDonald's and other fast food restaurants. So this isn't just about jobs. It's providing healthy options of places to eat for the poor D.C. residents.
You know, Jedediah, and on top of that, you know, we hear complaints from liberals about food deserts. Lenwood makes a great point. We hear complaints about income inequality, while D.C. is the number 3 place in this country for income inequality, and still we get these elitists who pass these kind of rules and laws. I don't get it. I don't see the connect between the rhetoric that you always put out there to shame others, and yet your policies make it worse.
That's exactly right. And think about Walmart and how it would incentivize competition. I mean, you put a Walmart somewhere, all of a sudden you have a lot of smaller businesses coming in. You create a marketplace. All of a sudden you have a shopping center before you know it. So it's not just those that are going to be employed directly at Walmart, but it's what it does to the community in terms of expanding this free market enterprise. And let's face it, you know, the city's minimum is $8.25 an hour right now. They want to force Walmart to pay $12.50 an hour. That's quite a jump. It's not going to be worth it for Walmart to put these businesses in a lot of these
Although, you know what's interesting about Walmart, which makes no sense to me, Walmart made the commitment to the council they were going to be paying around $12.50, right? So they made that commitment, and then when this gets codified, Walmart said, I don't think so, we're going to take a hike. So I don't get why Walmart would make that commitment in the first place, which makes no sense to me if they're going to do that.
Why do liberals hate Walmart?
Why do they hate Walmart?
Yeah.
I don't think liberals hate Walmart. I think a lot of liberals feel that Walmart doesn't treat their employees as well as Target does or other big box stores do. They just don't. I mean, they don't provide the benefits to their employees that they could and that other stores do, and they could be just as competitive as they did, but unfortunately they don't do that.
I think there's a snootiness element to it too, though. I mean, I hate to say it. Not from you, but I think I've heard a lot of liberals, you know, say comments about Walmart that have nothing to do with how the employees are treated and have more to do with whether or not it's viewed as part of an elitist stature.
Well, the limousine liberal limo crowd doesn't head out there. Lenwood, you wanted to jump in.
Yeah, Charles, this is really about one issue, though, in D.C. It's about the 2014 mayoral race. And it was the unions that defeated the last mayor, so the unions are positioning themselves before this election next November in Washington to show their power. That's the real issue here.
So help me out, though. I mean, are they for or against the current mayor? Because I understand this mayor may actually veto this.
Well, he might veto it. They supported the current mayor because he stood up against the last mayor and what he did to the teachers' unions. So the current mayor has until the end of the week to veto the bill. All of us in Washington will be watching to see what happens.
I don't know, guys. It feels like it's becoming a liberal paradise utopia. Get rid of all the cars, get rid of all the big box makers. It really does feel that way. In D.C., yeah. In a couple of years, I mean, if you've had
what cars? What cars?
That's what I'm saying. No cars.
I don't know about that. Listen, D.C.'s certainly not a paradise. Having lived there, I don't know, Linwood, I don't want to insult your residents, but having been an evacuee from Washington after living there for years, yikes, it is not a paradise in any way, shape, or form.
These policies, when they're instituted, no matter where they are, always result in economic destruction of the communities. Every single time you can look across.
Well, that's not true, because New York City, for example, did not let Wal-Mart come here, and I don't think we're destruction.
Yeah, the policies, when you talk about minimum wage policies, they're always
not at all. Minimum wage has never resulted whatsoever in loss. I mean, this is the canary that they put.
I will say this much, though, guys.
That's always put out.
Workers repeatedly.
In India, a year ago, they were going to let the big box makers in, and they said no, the same sort of pushback.
Right.
And their food inflation is so immense that it's derailing what was once the hottest economy in the world.
Wow.
I mean, you need that infrastructure and that distribution and simply jobs, a step into the commerce. But you guys will be back, so hold on. Next, though, for right now, we've got a banker with a warning. If you want to start a business, you better do it